Now, did you go to university? If so, what did you study? Performing arts? Good luck, because it turns out it's the degree with the lowest earning potential at just £22,000.
I suppose it is if you don't get a job as a result of it. But if you become an actor or singer or something, then it would be good. But if you're looking for the dosh, the highest paid degree would be the computer science degree at Oxford, right, averaging almost 90,000 just a few years after graduating. So the question is it worthwhile doing? Should these so-called Mickey Mouse degrees be banned? Let's debate that now.
Yeah, we can talk to the former head teacher, Chris McGovern. He thinks so. And we've also got the best-selling author and entrepreneur, Davinia Taylor, who thinks that we're lost without creative degrees. Good morning to you both. Chris, I'm going to come to you first, because what annoys me so much about this discussion is the value of a degree seems to be based on what you end up earning rather than the value in and of itself of learning, where, I have this argument with my husband all the time. I think you learn for the sake of learning. It's interesting, you become a better person. He thinks you should only do something if it helps you get a better job at the end of it.
Look, I'm a teacher, I'm a lover of learning, but the truth is around half of graduates are underemployed. I spoke at a conference of admissions tutors a few years ago, a national conference, and I told them that, a lot of their youngsters were working in coffee bars and so forth, and there was a hushed silence in the room. The press were there too, they saw this. And after the conference, 3 admissions tutors came to me privately and said, Chris, thank you for saying that, because no one else will tell the truth. The fact is, of course, university is worth going to if you're academic and you have particular skills. But far too many youngsters are going, and they are getting debt, and they're getting lots of bad experiences, and they're underemployed. So this is not a good experience for them. So yes, of course, we need universities to do a great job. Far too many of them close down half of them and encourage youngsters to go into the world of work. Like myself, before I became a teacher, I worked in many different jobs. So, that's where I come from, practical side. I'm not diminishing university. It's right for some kids, but not for all. We're sending too many. It's a money-making opportunity. And the white boys out there in the marketplace are recruiting youngsters, and they're being sold a dream, which turns into a nightmare.
I think the difficulty, Davinia, is education was politicised, particularly under the Blair Labour government, and it became a business. Did you go to third level education? And if so, did you get a degree in it? What was it?
Well, actually, I didn't. I bailed during my A-levels. I was a performing arts student, and I got offered a job on Channel 4, so obviously I jumped ship. But my point is, I'm now a CEO and a founder of one of the fastest growing companies in the UK, and I have engineers in place, I have accountants in place, I have computer analysts in place. But you know what? I don't have creatives, and I'm going to be scouring the universities around me, Lancaster, Manchester, Liverpool, for performing artists to sell my products, because without someone front of house, without someone with that personality and that performance degree, we have no business.
Davinia, so you didn't need a performance degree to leap out of the screen at us this morning in your neon and looking fabulous. You don't have to go study it for 3 years at vast expense in order to do that, do you?
Well, that's where I'm going to be looking as an employer now, because, I'm not going to be going to acting agents. I want to know somebody who is trained in front of the camera to a high level. And that's where my sales are. And, we generate huge business, but it starts now with places like TikTok, YouTube. I need personalities there to get my product out into the audience and to make sure I have a new in-stream of customers. And then I have the accountants, and then I have the computer analysts, and then I have, the engineers working on the shop, on the factory floor to making sure we have a smooth production line. So there is space for these creators, and the tide is turning.
Davinia, I absolutely agree with you, but I'm just wondering whether a performing arts degree or a drama degree should be your primary source of education. I mean, should it be supplementary to something, as Isabel's husband would say, that actually gets you a job? But I totally get what you say. I think that if you have a personality, it takes you everywhere in life. And if you learn how to act, I mean, I think when I look back at my own education, being involved in drama actually helped me to cope with all sorts of situations in life.
Exactly. I mean, I'm the mother of 4 boys, and my first one, number one, he's just finished his GCSEs. He's not university. I'm going to have to try and get him on a building site because that's where he's going to earn his money. We do need tradesmen. I've got 4 boys and I can see 2 of them going into the trade and maybe 2 of them being more academic. So I understand your point. I'm not scared of people going straight into the workplace. I didn't do university because I got offered a job. Maybe I was lucky, right place, right time, or maybe I just had that get up and go. But some people need it a little bit longer. And if they want to be a creative, there are tons of jobs on the cruise ships, in Panto. It is a huge industry. The performing arts are neglected.
OK. Chris, what would your advice be? You always have this situation, kids from 15, 16 years of age have to choose subjects for A-level. They've got to think about what degree they're eventually going to take. What would your advice to them be, whether they should go to tertiary education or not?
Well, look, I'm a great supporter of the creative industries, and it's actually, for Britain, it's one of our great success stories. But if you look at who makes it in these creative industries, the people with confidence, the people with money, and the people with contacts. It's dominated by public school. Davinia herself went to a public school until she was 16. She's a shining example, by the way, of what you can achieve without going to university. My advice to young people is to do what you're interested in, of course, but remember, only 2% of people who are qualified to act on the stage are actually working today. There's very little opportunity there. You have to be lucky. Davinia is fantastic. She's a success story. Most people won't be. So don't have illusions that you're going to make it in this creative industry unless you've got talent. And if you've got talent, you don't need to go to university.
Although, I remember having a teacher like you at school who was our philosophy teacher. And I remember him saying, none of you are going to amount to anything. You're all a waste of space. You can't, as a teacher, say, close down avenues for kids. You have to say, the world's your oyster, give it a go, follow your heart. That's what it's all about, being young. Have a go, because otherwise we miss out on all these stars. Otherwise they'll give up before they've even tried.
I agree with that, but don't put children in a position where they think they can do anything they want. Tell them they go for it. I would be the first to say that. Look, John Lennon was written off as a youngster. Of course you can succeed. Davinia's a fantastic example of that. But be realistic as well. Be truthful. Tell children, look, if you go to university, you may not get the job you're looking for. Be honest about it. Look, good kids will come through. And we, by the way, are brilliant, as Davinia shows, at the creative side of things.
Davinia, a lot of love
regardless
for you.
of university.
I normally get shouted at by headmasters, so this is all new to me. I feel like I've got a gold star.
You don't need some whizzy young tech person to sell your product. You're a walking advert for it. Good to talk to you both, Davinia Taylor, Chris McGovern. Thanks very much indeed.
Thank you.
Thank you.